So, what we did on your parents' holiday. When your parents were away, we booked your bedroom for a week, and the house became a luxury villa straight out of Torremolinos. When your parents were away, TV was good every night, and we drank toast of Vino Rossi wine, bought by the gallon from our wine man. 4 pints today, and no milk, please. The neighbours never called, though we had lots of cups of sugar ready, just in case they did. And the sun shone unnoticed, while we locked ourselves away, choosing furniture from expensive catalogues, decorating our imaginary country home with prints by Cézanne and Van Gogh. When your parents were away, friends came occasionally and inquired after our health and winked at each other because you were wearing my trousers. But mostly, there was only the budgerigar to see what your parents never should, and Bob Dylan to say those words I wished I had, but never could. And though your parents returned, somewhat unexpectedly, they'll never know how much more than we enjoyed their holiday, and of what we said and did in our brief life together when your parents were away. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that happens to you, but you go to the supermarket and you come back and there's somebody unexpectedly sleeping in your bed. This happened to me, or possibly it didn't, but it'd be nice to think it did. This is Sparks with Marx. I returned from Sainsbury's to find Karl Marx is sleeping in my bed. I can't wake him. There he is, lightly snoring, a mug of beer on the bedside table, a half-eaten plate of cheese. Karl, what will the neighbours think? A revolutionary breaking and entering, helping himself while bearing a passing resemblance to Santa. You could at least join me for a bevy and a listen to Oasis' new album. You could help me finish the kitchen, hang out the washing. Karl gets up, while brushing his teeth, tells me he's now going out with Madonna. She's given up all that Kabbalah rubbish. They plan to do a bed-in for peace. But Karl, hasn't that been done? He pops another can, takes no notice. Do you have any pickled onions, he says, beard twitching in anticipation. Later we stroll through the park. He observes that there were more robins in his time. Everything was redder back then. Soon we are ensconced in a snug at the local. Karl lights a pipe, but I tell him it's banned. Banned? Whatever happened to England's green and pleasant land? It's smoke-free now, I say. He nods sagely. Smoke-free, eh? But it's not free. It's not really free, is it? Okay, I'm going to finish my contribution to the first half with this poem, and many of you will be familiar with those kind of pub restaurants which have names like Beefeater or Country Fair, and you go in there and you're sitting at a table and the waitress comes over towards you with this huge laminated menu, and when you look at it, although it's an enormous thing, it's only got about 6 dishes on it, and that's because they take about 500 words of purple prose to describe something like fish, chips and peas. So they tell you what part of the North Sea the cod was fished from, the name of the farmer who dug up those potatoes in Norfolk, the phone numbers of the people who picked those garden fresh peas at 7 AM this morning, so it goes on. And I thought, how will they describe the simplest vegetarian meal of all? Buttered toast. 2 freshly unwrapped slices of Tesco special price bread, baked from additive added flour, milled from Canadian wheat, shipped more than 6,000 miles across the Atlantic, narrowly avoiding Virgin Challenger Mark II, driven by that stupid self-seeking idiot Richard Branson before arriving in our kitchens there to be spread with 2 individually foil-wrapped pats of rich creamy butter, curded from the milk of a West Country Frisian herd, feeding off rich grassland 17 miles inland from Penzance on a farming cooperative renowned for its opposition to animal experimentation, forcing growth through antibiotics and blaming badgers for every bovine boil or carbuncle that appears for no other good reason except that cows get sick like every other bloody animal, don't they? Served on a 7-inch side plate, fired in Staffordshire stoneware, biscuit baked at 800 degrees centigrade, glazed baked at 1500 degrees centigrade, finished in white, adorned only by a royal blue line on the inner rim, emphasising both the simplicity and functional quality of the design. Accompanied by a condiment knife made from surgical quality Sheffield steel, imported at great expense from Taiwan and gripped by handles fashioned by crafts children in Korean sweatshops, working 16 hours a day for less than the scrapings off my bum. As for the marmalade, it's made from oranges, which are round and grow on trees, held there against the force of gravity, until some exploited kibbutz worker comes along and picks them. But in any case, if you don't believe me, why don't you sodding well go to Israel and have a look for yourself?
Okay.
I think this is right. Let's just check. You're on next.